Welcome, anime Lily fans. How you guys doing? LegendDVash as always with my King of Games RayApollo, and right here below JBXclusive from Careful Spoilers. We're back for another Black Clover chapter 257 review coverage. And as you guys see, there's no My Hero chapter, no One Piece chapter. The big names are not out right now, but we still got another one, Black Clover. And let's talk about Dante's ugly design. Like no Redestro kind of character, but hey, that's just my opinion. Ray, wouldn't you agree?
They were like, "Hey, what can we do with Dante? Hey, I don't know. Make him big. Okay, yeah,
and more black.
Yes,
more black
add more shading and make him big. Okay,
yeah. Do you agree?
I wasn't insulted by it, but I was like, meh, it's all right.
I'm not insulted, but yeah, I was exactly. I was like,
it's just
okay.
I expected more, and then it's like, I guess it's that way because when his arm stretches, it would look weird if it was too skinny. So it's like, okay, well, we got to bulk him up a little bit. I'm making excuses, but
his legs stayed the same size.
That's what I'm saying. He looks like me. If you look, wait, I don't see a picture public anymore because I have a picture on IG where I was going back as gym. My hands look bulk as hell. My legs didn't, and literally most of the comments on my IG pic that day was literally skip leg day. I literally and it's true.
No, I'm not gonna say his legs aren't big. It's just they're not as big as his arms. You know, which I mean, it's not necessarily it has to be that way. It's just like, oh, okay. I feel like it would have had a little bit more of an effect if like his legs were also like hulked out like his arms. So
true, but overall, putting the jokes out of the design away.
Wait, no, we have one more joke because Yami made one about the target on his chest.
Very true, very true. But Yami would not ever find a way without making a joke about it because he would literally say like, "Yo, my dude, you literally was a target practice."
Yami be almost breaking the fourth wall sometimes, and I'm like,
yeah.
And plus, it fits for the character as well.
Of the Magic Knights, man.
He really is.
I wonder if there's ever a class for him back when he was in Japan, or was he always a class clown for his own classmates and everything?
Probably.
Like this for his own magic, because he definitely is that class clown. And plus with Jack the Ripper, they're both literally the duo of class clowns.
Yeah.
But speaking about Dante and everything, by the way, good laugh on Jack because that literally almost sounded
that was great. That was fantastic, actually.
But to speak about Dante and everything, I gotta admit, my dude's a creep, and he is definitely trying to act intimidating and very to the pun of his gravity magic, because he literally said it's gratifying, really to the pun.
So all the devils are nasty. That's what we know. Like they're all nasty. So it's like, oh, I get it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they all nasty.
The only con one, the only relaxed one, I think is technically Zeno, because even though he literally the chill one, because literally had his hands in the pocket the whole time when he was fighting against.
Yeah, he's the murderer. He got the job done. He was done. Everybody else played with their food, and that's why they ended up like this.
Yeah, they notice much pleasure from torture.
Exactly. So if they wanted to get the job done with Yami, they would have sent him. So
that's very true.
But no, James, your theory about the magics that Dante has was correct.
Yeah, because I always thought that Dante's innate magic ability was his body magic, his flesh magic. And now we finally get that confirmation, and now we know for sure that the devil's power is the gravity magic because it's so much more powerful.
But so that brings a new theory for me with the devils, and that I think their powers are either they are in the grimoires or they kind of fuse with the grimoire. Because if you look at Dante's grimoire, it looks like it's got gravity runes on it. So it's so how does that work? And so maybe because remember how we talked about Asta and his devil and his grimoire?
Yeah.
For real, that could be what it is. So
I think it's more infused with what you're saying, because what happened with with Asta, when he takes out his swords, it's coming out of the grimoire. It's not coming out of a gate or a black hole. It's coming out of his grimoire.
It's from the book. Yep.
So with Dante, Bianca, and Plazeno, they look like they're part of they're devil. Like they're also infused, but not fully. So like
kind of like a symbiotic relationship, kind of like Venom. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good example of that.
Yeah. But no, I agree. His body magic is ugly. It's real gross, but it's useful as heck. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes him virtually immortal because no matter what you do to him, he can regenerate or pull himself back together.
So I'm like, how do they kill him? Oh, Asta hits him with his sword, and then Yami kills him.
Yeah,
So,
I mean that's definitely a thing that could happen. Asta can use all of his anti-magic, and then Yami goes in for the kill.
Let's just cut straight to the point. That's literally what happened at the end of the chapter. Like literally, Yami said, like, "Yo, Asta, my boy, I can't win this without you. Come join the fight."
That's exactly what I heard. That's exactly what I heard. Your voice and everything is Yami. My boy, I need your help.
Surpass your limit. You got this. You're like, all right, I got it, boss.
So I will say though, one of my favorite things that he says to Yami is that your instincts and technique in battle surpass mine. I'm deeply jealous. I mean, which we knew. Which this is gonna make anime Twitter mad because they already don't like Yami because they think he's too strong. But it's like
realistically, who can challenge Dante the way that Yami has? Yami has
other than the Wizard King, or maybe one of the other weird captains.
Nozel. Yeah. Other than Fuego Nuzzle that could actually do that.
I mean, that's true. I mean, my girl probably could. She probably would have beat him. But
what
you know,
captains we say because she's not captain no more.
Whatever. She decided to not be. So.
Yeah, but Yami just has so much more battle experience. It would does. You know what I mean? But it's just because of how powerful Dante is and the fact that you can't destroy him. It's nuts.
I mean, I feel like it's scaling your enemies to your characters. Like you have to do that, and like I get it. So like I guess people just be like, well, we haven't seen Yami do enough stuff with strong. I'm like, we've seen enough. I think like he's got enough feats of strength to like justify how strong he is.
Yeah.
So,
one thing I would say is about when Asta was getting up as well. I love that in that moment he thought about his mentor, all the flashbacks of when he first met him, when he first trained with him, and all the time when they first also fought against Lich. Or, you know, against, what's his name? What's his original name? Not William. The guy that was being substituted for Lich from the Eye of the Midnight Sun. Can't remember his name.
Good question, because there were like 3 different people in that body, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for those that remember, I love how Asta got all that flashback of all the times that he has trained with his master and everything. So it's literally against dark magic with black demon magic of Asta. So that's a cool kind of combo working side by side. So I'm really curious about it since he had that goals.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite panels actually, because the first thing that my eyes locked onto was that panel where Yami told Asta, do it, join the Black Bulls and become Wizard King.
Prove everybody wrong. Exactly. Yep.
And that's what gave him the ability to push past his limits.
I mean, I love that. Yeah. This is very much an Asta MC moment. Like I can't wait to see this. I actually really look forward to seeing this animated this year because it's that where the music's gonna swell and he's gonna yell and it's gonna be great.
So question for you guys: do you think that Yami actually needs help, or do you think he was just trying to push Asta?
Both. He needs the help because the thing is he knows that no matter what at this moment he could take out Dante, but at the same time he cannot kill him because he keeps regenerating. So what's the best thing to do? A guy that literally has a nullifying magic that could cancel this dude's magic because he literally said my magic is body magic, not his magic is guard. So if he cancels one of his magic, aka the body magic, so that means he can actually kill him. Dante.
Because I mean, because we've seen that Yami can do the damage. He can do the irreparable damage. I mean, it's just with that skill, and once that's gone, Yami can knock him out. But I think it's gonna be one of those things where Yami he got hit. We saw him take like a direct hit.
Yeah.
And so
right down the side of the stomach.
I'm like,
also,
does he still have enough strength to pull off the death cannon again?
or the thrust is called.
I'm calling it the cannon because death thrust. Get out of here.
He hasn't perfected the thrust. He's still got a cannon.
It's still a cannon.
But also, what I like about this chapter, also, if you notice, remember last week's chapter, he got hit on the side of his, left side, where we got some blood on the, forehead, the ear, and everything. I love throughout this whole chapter, he never showed his side of the ear that we think that also got a bit of, Van Gogh type of cut. He never throughout his whole chapter.
If you look at the first page, that second panel, you can see his ear. He's okay. He just
it's just
on the side of the head and his left arm.
Yep.
He has left arm. But I'm curious to know, like, is it cut like, you know, a little tiny piece? Like, is it cut here? Or
I don't think so. I think it just got the side of his head is what it looks like.
But overall, this chapter really got hype. And like Ray said behind the scenes, it already gave us blue balls once.
It really did. Like, come on, man. Because like the next chapter is like, that's the fight I want to see, you know? So I'm like, yeah, I love this, but it's like, I like this, and that's the funny part about these chapters for me, because I feel like I said the exact same thing last time. Oh, I just want to see the next chapter.
Yeah.
Because this was literally the setup for next chapter. Like, this is like the
setup chapter.
The prequel for next chapter. Like,
yeah, the last couple of chapters have always felt so complete, but this one, this was the setup for next week, and I'm okay with that.
Yep.
So a really good fight.
We'll see how it goes, because I'm like, I've been waiting. Like we got Asta for like what, 2 chapters, and then he got knocked out. So I'm like, okay, great. So because like I said, it had been a long time since we'd seen him. So finally, we get to see the main character again.
That is true. It's been almost 20, I believe.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. We went a real long time without seeing both Asta and Deku in their mangas, which is wild.
Yeah, like we literally saw Yuno and then Noel, and then back to Asta.
So yeah, good. But I mean, but that's also to me the sign of good mangas when the rest of the cast can carry it for a while without the MC.
Exactly.
So, like I would have never watched. I didn't like Naruto when Naruto wasn't in it. So,
but that's the weakest part of the series because he never had the time to do them.
I didn't like Bleach without Ichigo in it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So
yeah, like it was sad to see Chad in Wakamundo, where it's technically literally named after a Mexican heritage. But you know, that's a whole different conversation.
That's all very different conversation.
But
I really hope he also use more of the devil's power. I don't know, man.
I just want the devil to take over. I want him to take over as much as he can of Asta, and then like I want him to be like, you talk some shit to Dante's devil.
So in other words, you want a Ninetales demon mode coming out because literally Asta literally had a struggle getting up. So literally the demon should come out saying like, hey, you got the work, I'll move your body, but let me give you my magic. Okay, that's what we need already. Like literally Asta technically should be down for the count still. He literally didn't
No, he surpassed his limits. It's fine.
No, he's not done.
He's not done.
He can't give up. Power of giving up is not my magic.
Exactly.
I will be here.
But no, I kind of love Black Clover. I told you guys I legitimately am committing to actually watching the anime this season. So we'll be able to talk about it on the main podcast.
Good.
That's great. That's great. So we're all good here, guys?
Yeah, man. Like I said, just bring on this next chapter, which I might phone it in just so we can talk about it. So we'll see.
Hey, we could do that. Well, that guys, let us know what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. Join our Discord server, like the video as well, subscribe if you want more anime lately content, press the bell notification every time we upload our videos. And other than that, guys, see you next time.